is Donald Trump who will win this election? This is the question we're going to be answering in this video. So without further ado, let's get right into today's prediction. For the Democrats, their safe states, Joe Biden will carry California, of course, Hawaii, New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, the state of Maryland, and the District of Columbia. So that's 113 electoral votes, plus Maine's 1st district, in which he won by 26 points in. Now for Donald Trump, his safe states will add up to 125 electoral votes, 100 above Joe Biden. Waiting me to vote in all of these safe states. Basically, all of them, they did go to Trump by a safe margin, except the states of Alaska, South Carolina, Kansas, and Nebraska's 1st congressional district, which was barely likely. In fact, all 3 of these states were barely likely. Now for Joe Biden, his likely states, a lot of them were safe for him in 2020. That being said, I don't expect him to do as well because of the national environment, his approval, which is disastrous for a Democrat or a Republican, really. One of the most unpopular presidents at this point for Joe Biden. He's going to finish up with 191 electoral votes. All these states were safe for him in 2020, except the state of Colorado, which was barely likely for him. It was 13.5 points. Now for Trump, Iowa, Ohio, of course, both of those states are going to be likely. I mean, that's pretty much going to be their characterization. I don't think they're going to go above 15 points. But, of course, they're not going to go under 5 points. I think he's going to win in both of those states by double digits. That being said, it will still be sort of contentious. Not really competitive, but sort of close as well. In the state of Texas, it's a trending Democratic state, but it's just not going to flip. Not going to come close to flipping in 2024. Maine 2nd District, Trump won by 8 points in 2020. I think he's going to basically win by even larger margin, maybe 10, 11 points against Joe Biden again. Florida and North Carolina, these 2 states, I'm adding from the Trump column to a likely column, despite Florida being a lean Trump state and North Carolina being a tilt Trump state in 2020. So yeah, I think the national environment really provides the argument for me that both of those states will be likely for Donald Trump. For lean states for Joe Biden, really there's not much. There's New Mexico and Virginia. Both of these states were likely for Joe Biden. I think they're going to be lean for him. Virginia, the Virginia suburbs are trending Democrat. The Washington, D.C. suburbs, but 2024 is not the year for Joe Biden. New Mexico, the oil vote's not going to turn out for him. He was trying to appeal to those working class voters, but it's just not going to help him. I mean, he's anything but working class to a lot of voters right now, and oil prices, this is the oil industry state. The oil prices have risen so much. That's not going to help him, all right? People are consuming much more expensive oil, and these companies, they're not going to get the benefit. These workers, they're not going to get the benefit, and that's why the state will go much closer. Now going to Maine's at-large vote, I'm a little bit swingy between lean until I give it as a lean for Biden state because Clinton was able to carry the state by 3 points. That being said, it was almost in tilt because my tilt margin is basically under 2 percentage points. I think Maine, just because it's 1st district, will still be lean for Joe Biden. For Donald Trump, his lean states will give him the presidency because first I'm going to give him the entire Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Basically, all of this Rust Belt area is going to go to Donald Trump, except the states of Illinois and New York. Minnesota we'll see in a second. Alright, so that does give Trump the presidency. I think he's going to do pretty well in all 3 of those states. The closest, of course, is the state of Michigan. The widest margin, probably the state of Wisconsin. That's going to be my bet here. Biden's not going to do too well. He's going to do worse than Hillary in all 3 of these states because the working class not going to help Joe Biden's chances in Georgia as well. I think it's going to be lean or tilt. It's still going to be a pretty close state. Regardless, Biden did get some significant trends. That being said, the trends will likely not last in this Atlanta area. Really, I don't think the trends will last that long. And again, it's going to be a trending blue state. That being said, 2024 is just not the year, alright? Arizona, that does give Trump 306 electoral votes, which is how much electoral votes Biden won, and how much electoral votes Trump won in 2016. So, yeah, the state of Arizona will retain in a Donald Trump column. He's won every single state except Nebraska 2nd that he's won in 2016, and for that, I'm going to give him Nebraska 2nd Congressional District. This is going to be very close because Biden did win this district by 7. It was 3 points bluer, redder of a district. That being said, Biden did carry the district by 7 points. If we look at the results here, Biden carried this district by 6.6 points, a likely district for him. So 3 point shift plus the national environment, probably a 4 or 5 point additional shift. So that's about, let me think. So that's about just a tilt margin for Donald Trump in this district, a very close district. That being said, will be very contentious, but it's just one electoral vote after all. Now I have 3 states remaining. The state of Nevada, I do think, will go to Donald Trump. He just needs to improve slightly in the Las Vegas area. He did improve in Las Vegas, Clark County, just 1.4 points, you might say, but that's a short trend, and the state actually shifted right is an environment that shifted left. So it was actually more like a 3-point shift towards the Republicans if we count in the national environment. So pretty significant for the Republicans in Nevada. I do think they're going to be able to flip it. No problem. It was only 2.4 points after all. The Republicans should also be able to carry New Hampshire. Why? You might say Biden did win the state after all by 7 points. Well, this is a state that don't like incumbents a lot. You can see in 1992, I think that was the exception here. I think that was an exception, but if we look at 2000, Bush won the state. If we fast forward to 2004, despite Kerry actually doing worse, nationally actually lost a popular vote, while Gore won the popular vote. Kerry was actually able to flip the state. Obama won the state by 9 points. In 2012, though, he only won the state by 5 points. In 2016, you all know that Clinton barely won the state, but Biden was able to win the state by a pretty significant margin. So an anti-incumbent state. So that's going to help Joe Biden in this case, Donald Trump in this case, not Joe Biden. The state of Minnesota, pretty confused here, but I'm going to give it to Joe Biden just because Minnesota, you have these suburbs. They're very far gone for the Republicans. They could revert back a little bit just because of national environment, but look at these counts like 8.3 points, 6.3 points, 9.3 points. So a lot of these shifts, Anoka 7.7 points. So it's really not enough. And the rural areas, Republicans are definitely not maxed out. You can see some of these rural areas, they can't even crack 60%. So not maxed out. That being said, there is not that much room to improve in Minnesota because Minnesota, these rural areas, although they're bordering the states of South Dakota and North Dakota, it's still not going to be enough. Minnesota is pretty far gone for the Republicans at this point. In 2028, they could possibly flip it, and beyond, but right now it's just not the environment. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow, and bye.